In 1980, the average home in America cost about 3 times the average yearly salary. A single income could buy a house, a car, and support a family. It wasn't a fantasy, it was the standard. Today that same house costs nearly 10 times the average salary. In major cities, it is 20 times. You look at the numbers, and they don't make sense. You did everything right. You went to school, you got the job, you skipped the vacations, and you saved every penny, yet the finish line keeps moving further away. Every time you get close to a down payment, the price jumps another $50,000. You blame yourself, you think you aren't working hard enough, you think you spend too much. But I am here to tell you the truth that the financial news channels won't say out loud. It is not your fault, the system isn't broken, it was built this way, and right now it is working exactly as intended for the people who designed it. Welcome to the hidden economy. To understand why you will likely never own a home, we have to stop looking at houses as places to live. You see a home as shelter, safety, and a future for your family, but the people controlling the market do not see that. To them, a house is just an asset class. It is a line on a spreadsheet, and right now, it is the most valuable asset class in the world. For decades, the housing market was a competition between families. You wanted a house, your neighbor wanted a house, and the highest bidder won. It was fair. But around 2010, the rules changed silently. A new player entered the game. This player has unlimited cash. This player doesn't need a mortgage. This player doesn't care about school districts or safe neighborhoods. This player is Wall Street. Since the 2008 financial crash, giant investment firms like BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street realized something crucial. The middle class was destroyed, credit was tight, and millions of people were losing their homes. This wasn't a tragedy to them, it was a clearance sale. They started buying. Not just 1 or 2 houses, they bought entire streets, they bought entire neighborhoods. In some cases, they bought thousands of homes in a single month. Imagine you are trying to buy your first home. You find a modest place. You scrape together a deposit. You go to the bank. You beg for a loan. You submit mountains of paperwork. You offer the asking price.
Then you get a call. I'm sorry, the seller accepted another offer. You ask, did they offer more? Yes, the agent says. 20% over asking price. All cash. No inspection required. Closing in 24 hours.
You cannot compete with that. You are fighting a war with a stick while your opponent has a nuclear weapon. These firms use algorithms that scan the market in milliseconds, identifying undervalued properties and making automated offers before the "for sale" sign even hits the lawn. But why? Why do trillion-dollar hedge funds want a 3-bedroom house in the suburbs? This is where the story gets dark. They don't want to flip the house. They don't want to sell it back to you for a profit. They want to keep it. They realize that if they own enough of the supply, they can control the price. But more importantly, they can control the rent. We are witnessing the death of ownership and the birth of the Rentership Society. Idska Ontri, Society. Look around you. Everything is becoming a subscription. You don't own your music. You subscribe to Spotify. You don't own your movies. You subscribe to Netflix. You don't own software, you pay a monthly fee. Now, they are coming for your shelter. This is a concept called build to rent. Entire communities are being constructed right now that will never be sold. They are built specifically to be rented out by corporations forever. This creates a permanent underclass of citizens who can never build wealth. Home ownership has historically been the #1 way for the average person to build wealth. You pay off your mortgage, the house value goes up, and you pass that wealth to your children. It is the foundation of the middle class. When you take that away, you destroy the mechanism of social mobility. You create a modern feudalism, a system where a few giant landlords own the earth and the rest of us pay them for the privilege of existing on it. And the government, they are not coming to save you. In fact, they helped build this trap. Let's talk about the Federal Reserve. For years, they kept interest rates at near zero. They printed trillions of dollars out of thin air. When money is cheap, it flows into assets. It flows into stocks, crypto, and real estate. This caused asset prices to explode. Who owns assets? The rich. Who holds cash and debt? The poor. So while your savings account was paying you 0.01% interest, the price of the house you wanted was going up by 20% a year. The inflation caused by this money printing didn't just make eggs expensive, it made survival expensive. It transferred wealth from the workers to the owners on a scale we have never seen before in human history. This isn't just happening in New York or London, it is happening in Toronto, Sydney, Berlin, and Dublin. It is a coordinated global shift in how capital interacts with human necessity. The plan is simple. You will own nothing and you will be happy. That phrase, made famous by the World Economic Forum, isn't a conspiracy theory. It is a prediction. It is a business model. By 2030, the projection is that institutional investors could own up to 40% of all single-family rental homes in the United States. That is a monopoly on shelter. When one company owns the entire street, they set the price. If they raise the rent by 50%, where are you gonna go? The next street over is owned by their partner. So, what does the future look like? It looks like a world where you work hard, earn a salary, and immediately hand over 60% of it to a faceless corporation just to have a roof over your head. You become a battery, generating energy for a system that doesn't care about you. But there is a reason I am telling you this. It is not to make you hopeless. It is to wake you up. The first step to escaping a prison is realizing that you are in one. They rely on your ignorance. They rely on you thinking that the market is just tough right now, and that if you work harder, it will fix itself. It won't. The ladder has been pulled up. If you want to survive in this new economy, you have to stop playing by the old rules. The old advice, go to school, get a job, save cash, is a roadmap to poverty. Cash is trash in a world where they can print trillions of it. You need to understand assets. You need to understand how money actually works, not how they taught you in school. They didn't teach you this in history class, and they certainly won't teach you this on the news. They want you distracted. They want you fighting over politics, culture wars, and celebrities while they quietly buy the ground beneath your feet. This channel, The Hidden Economy, is dedicated to exposing these mechanisms. We are going to look at the dark side of finance, the rigging of the game, and the uncomfortable truths about who really owns the world. We will talk about the education scam, the credit trap, and the death of the dollar. We will show you the playbook they are using against you. Because knowledge is the only thing they cannot repossess. If you are tired of being lied to, if you want to understand the forces shaping your life, and if you want to find a way out of the trap, then you are in the right place. Do not let them turn you into a serf in the digital age. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications. Share this video with someone who needs to wake up. Next time, we are going to expose the higher education industry and why your degree might be the worst investment you ever made. Welcome to the resistance. Welcome to the hidden economy.